this is your May monthly reading, and yes, we're 2 weeks into it, but still some valuable information. If this does not resonate with you, that is fine. Not everything will. Hopefully it does. You're expecting information will be delayed, just to let you know. But back to what I was saying is, if it doesn't resonate with you, go with your moon sign. Time is fluid, so this might be last month for you or next month, so keep that in mind. And remember, you make your choices in life. Okay. So the beginning of this month, this says that you, excuse me, obviously, a lot of people, I'm having a hard time getting out some of these messages. This is telling me in the beginning of the month that you have a lot of love, but you haven't been paying attention too much at home. So with your extended family, make sure that you check in, say hi. You might be fickle about it because you're head over heels. This is telling me in the beginning of the month you're very head over heels. This person feels like a match for you. They're younger than you, which is good. That's always, youth does give fervor. Be mindful that the partner you have isn't in full control of themselves. So, hold them accountable. See how they react to that, because somebody who's not in full accountability for themselves will be actually dodging responsibilities. And remember, when you're in a new relationship, whatever you say is okay in the beginning is actually going to continue, even if it's an annoyance. So say the person you're dating is always saying they're going to be late. I will give you one allowance to be late. However, the punishment for being late is that's going to cut into our date time. You train people how to treat you. So this is telling me to be very, telling me that you need to be very mindful of the fact that this person doesn't have all their ducks in a row. So evaluate how that is with where you want to go in life. Although it seems happy, but just evaluate. Is this person going in the direction you want to go into? For the second week, this is really nice because you're in charge of your money. You've got extra flowing around. You're in your party mode. You have a lot of company and friendships. Some of you need to be careful because it feels like you have a jealous friend who wants to weasel in on love, whether they like you or they like the person you're dating. Be mindful of that. Make sure your boundaries are set. For next week, the third week, this is great because you're really on track with where you want to go, where you want to be. Now remember, when you're doing something new, or when you acknowledge, oh, I'm on my path, you might stun yourself because you're like, well, I don't have everything. I don't have $10,000 in my bank account. I don't have the perfect dream job. You have your ducks in a row. You have a permanent job. You have some sort of savings. Be very mindful of that. Also be mindful that you're going to start seeing sides of people you didn't think were there. You're going to see the truth of people. And it looks like you're going to be getting rid of some friends, some people who I would like to say they're like narcissistic, where they've always been really sweet to you, but then you see them treat somebody horrifically and you're like, hey, wait a minute, that's not how you are. You get to see their true self. Whenever you see somebody who lies so much about their character, like what I'm actually seeing is Someone who says, they've always been about equality and fairness, all of a sudden they're being very racist. And you're like, hold on, you weren't this way before. Like, we were on the same page. How are you that racist? And it's interesting because what I'm feeling is that they're actually not black-white racist, but they're actually racist on Asians. It's interesting. It's such a very specific kind of racism, but be mindful of that. Be mindful that this person's displaying a side of their characteristic that isn't how you thought they were. It might be someone who's very like pro-gay rights, and all of a sudden they're yelling at someone for being gay, and you're like, wait a minute, this is not okay. Like, you're really seeing a negative. And you get rid of those people, and you're also welcoming people who actually their actions are speaking louder than words. So this is really good. You're isolating your friends. Your last week, well, you should prep for this in the beginning of the month, or just in general, is pay attention to where you place your money. This is telling me at the end of the month you're learning a hard lesson with your money or displaying your wisdom. So I really hope you're displaying your wisdom with money, which is like diversifying, savings, not spending on frivolous things. And also knowing, this is telling me you're going to be vulnerable. So be aware of how you spend your money when you're vulnerable. A stereotypical situation would be like women like to shop to feel better. Men like to go to sports to feel better when they're kind of hurt or sensitive, just the dynamics of that. Those are stereotypes, obviously, but be mindful of how you are when you're not feeling up to snuff. If you're sick, if you're heartbroken, if you're upset, you're seeing someone's true colors, and it's very upsetting at times. So be mindful of what happened, what you do with your money after you find something that horrific out. Be mindful of that. But again, this is just an overview. If this doesn't resonate with you, hey, don't take any of it to heart, obviously. And remember, you control your actions, you control how you handle things. And you control the situations you're in. So if you feel in your gut it's not a good place to go, don't go. Okay? Have a happy May.